Well, hello, Lonely Bulls. It's JJ the Lonely Bullinasia with my um, live stream number two. Hopefully successful live stream number two. Welcome everybody that's here, and before we get started with everything, we'll wait for people to get on. Looks like there's a couple on now. If you're on, let me know where you're watching from, and then we can give you a little shout out. How's that sound? Um, it's Monday morning here. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot my coffee. So hang on just a second, and I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my coffee real quick. Hold on. Okay, got my coffee. I feel much better now. Let me know how the stream sounds and looks. I've got two cameras set up today, and I think I got that figured out how uh, I can put those in, and it sounds good. For some reason, I'm not hearing myself in my headphones. All right, let me know how it sounds. Let me know if it's coming in okay and if the video's good, and then we'll get started. But anyway, it's Monday morning here. Now I got my coffee, so I feel good. I'm a little tired today. I didn't sleep well last night. I don't know why. Out of my mind, I guess. But this has become a full-time job for me, so I think about it constantly. I think about getting better and better in YouTube and how I can make my channel better. And yeah, it's really, I've got a couple of networking events I'm going to this week and then later in the month and next month. So a lot of things happening behind the scenes. So it's been interesting, but it's been a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. I'm going to take these off because I can't hear myself anymore. So, okay. See, we got two people on, so welcome. Let's see, we got Gary messaged in here. He said, if you live in or near Manila, yes, but I'm happy to be closer to Clark Airport. It is 1,000 times better than dealing with NAIA and all the accompanying factors. Well, I will agree that NAIA is a pain in the rear to navigate through because all their terminals are in separate areas. So you've got to transfer from terminal to terminal. So if you're flying in international and then you're flying to another location locally, domestically, then you got to change terminals. So yeah, that can be a pain in the butt. But I live in BGC, so it's really close. I've never flown in and out of Clark. I know it's an international, but what are their options? That's what I like to know. What are their options flying in and out? So anyway, that brings us to the topic. The topic today is the convenience of living in Metro Manila to be able to travel all over the Philippines and internationally in Southeast Asia. And I did a video a couple of days, or about a day ago, I released a video, and I showed you how easy it was. And I use this, I use an online service called Momondo.com, and it's really easy for me. I've been using it for 10 years, almost 12 years now. No, almost 10 years now. But I've never had a problem with it, and it's really good to search travel arrangements, even from the U.S. or back to the U.S. It's a good service to use too. So, but Gary flies in and out of Clark, it sounds like, and I've never flown out of Clark, so I'd love to hear what it's like there. Now, how easy is it to get from where you're at to Clark? I assume you're up in Pampangas or maybe Angeles or somewhere around those areas, but it could be a little bit of a challenge. I know if you're living in, I know Cebu does international flights, so that's an option too. But getting there is another challenge. Let's see. The only good thing about NAI is if you're flying into the Philippines from US on United and flying from Manila domestically on Cebu Pacific, then you never leave Terminal 3. Oh, okay. Yeah. Personally, I'll never fly United again. The first time I flew international here in 2015, I flew United. It was the worst experience I've ever had in my life flying. So I just avoid that completely. So yeah, but you have a lot of options flying in and out of Manila Airport. I will tell you that, and it's cheap. That's the reason why I like living here in um, in Metro Manila in the Philippines, because I can travel all over Southeast Asia really cheap. I mean, less than $200 round trip normally to travel to Thailand or Vietnam or Japan or Malaysia or wherever. So I got a lot of plans this year. My girlfriend and I are going to Vietnam later on in the year, maybe late summer, early fall. That would be Western dates, like August, early September, something like that, before the weather gets bad in Vietnam, before the wet season hits. And then locally here, we're going down to Bohol. We're going to Panglao and Alona Beach in the first weekend in July. And then she's going to see her family at the farm in Negros. And I will probably go to Dumaguete later on in July, meet up with a couple of friends there. And then I have to go to Cebu. I'm doing an interview with someone, and that will be done live in Cebu or locally in Cebu. So, and I haven't been to Cebu since 2017, so it'll be interesting to see how things have changed there. So, but yeah, so that's kind of the plans coming up for me in the near future. So I'd like to hear from you guys. Where are you watching from? Um, what are you here in the Philippines? Have you been to the Philippines? What's your travel like? How do you book your flights, either locally, domestically or internationally, uh, to the Philippines or out of the Philippines? Do you use a certain site? Do you use Momondo.com like I do? I know there's a couple of really good ones out there, but I would love to hear from you guys. And four on board right now, and let's hear from the chat. Where are you watching from? It's a little after 9 o'clock here in the Philippines, at 10 after 9, and I'm enjoying my morning coffee and a little tired, like I said. We'll go we'll go for a little while. We'll see, if we, this topic gets drained a little bit. If we beat it like a dead horse, then we'll move on to another topic or whatever. So, all right, so it looks like BH in Bayou City. Okay, so Houston, Texas. Okay, great. When you go to Alona Beach, try Vivian Seafood and Grill. I was there in 2023. Good food. Okay, so my girlfriend and I are going there, and we're just staying. She gets an extra day off. She gets that Monday off, which I think is July 1st or 2nd, something like that. So uh, we'll go early Sunday morning. We got a flight that gets in about 9:30 in the morning, so we'll have all day, and then our flight leaves on Monday, and so we'll have all day, and the flight doesn't leave till like 8:30 or 9 at night. So we'll actually be able to have 2 full days on the beach or whatever, and crossing our fingers that the weather holds out. Um, but we want to go to a nice restaurant that night, that first night, and just have a really nice meal and just enjoy. It's a little mini vacation for us, and her and I haven't really been on a vacation yet, other than going to Negros. That was more business related or work related for her, to take care of her farm issues. So um, it'll be kind of a nice little extended weekend, so to speak. So we'll have a good time. So we want to have a really nice dinner when we're there. So what's the prices like at Vivian's? What can you give me an idea about that, BH? What kind of prices they have there um, at Vivian's? Because we might try that out. We both love seafood. In fact, Jen, my girlfriend, she went to the market in Guadalupe, which is right outside of BGC, and she got some seafood this week, and she made squid last night, and it was really good. The best squid I've had since I've been here, actually. We had some before that was a little chewy, a little rubbery. This was not. It was cooked perfect. It was great, and she makes it so good, and just a little spicy. And I had it with some rice, and it was fantastic. So I'm lucky. I got a great girl. She's a fantastic cook, and she loves to cook. So she's actually going to start her own YouTube channel. So that will be an adventure. I'll help her out with that. But that's coming up probably in the next few weeks or a month. So I'll let you know. I'll let you in on that when it happens. Um, anyway, so speaking of Guadalupe, uh, either later today or tomorrow, I'm going to take a walk and talk to Guadalupe, and I'll post that in my on my channel just to show you how how easy it is to get out of BGC to Guadalupe or to get to Makati, because I'll probably continue from Guadalupe to Makati or do a separate video maybe. But the reason I want to go to Guadalupe is I need to get my haircut. You can see it's getting kind of long now, and the longer it gets, the more gray it shows. So I cut it, when I cut it short, you don't see the gray as much. So, but I just don't like it when it gets so long. So the bangs are getting kind of weird looking, funky. So I'm going to walk to Guadalupe and get my 100 peso haircut. So that's under $2 for a haircut. I've had my haircut here in a couple of different locations, back alley, over by High Street, over by Landmark Groceries. That's five. They went up from 500 to 550 peso now, which still is under $10 US. So you can't go to Great Clips or Sports Clips or whatever they call that. You can't go there for $10 anymore. So it's still cheap. And then right around the corner from where I live in Tryon Towers, there's a place called Modern Fox, and it's barber slash bar. So it's kind of a cool little setup. But their haircut and shampoo is only 500 peso, and that's where I got mine cut last time. But I wanted to show you how to get to Guadalupe and get your $100 peso haircut, and kind of show you the walk. I could take the jeepney from here to there, and it cost me 20 peso for the jeepney. But I think it'd be more fun to walk it and let you know how long it takes me to get there. So we'll do that. Anyway, back to the subject at hand, traveling in and out of Manila or the Philippines. What's the best option for you? So if you want to travel, let's say you're in the U.S., like BH, he's in Houston. He wants to travel to the Philippines. I know you said you take United. Do you ever? Does anybody in the U.S. ever fly in to the Philippines with international airlines other than maybe the Philippine Airlines? Because the ones I love, EVA or EVA Airlines, I love both Japanese, JAL and ANA. Korean Air is good. Those are probably my top four. Air Asia is good, or Asiana Air. Asiana Air is really good. In fact, the last time I came back from the U.S., I took my golf clubs back here, and they were check-in, obviously, and I didn't get charged for it. And the key to that was staying in the same airline on all your connections, so you're not changing airlines on connection. You're staying with the same one. So I flew out of Dallas, so my clubs left Dallas and arrived in Manila. When I got here, my clubs were here, and I had two connecting flights, but they're all Asiana Air. So what was nice was I didn't have to recheck in my luggage each time or my golf clubs each time. They were transferred directly to Manila, so that's really nice. But living here in BGC, it's just a quick grab or taxi ride to the airport, obviously depending on traffic. Um, Usually I can get there in 20, 25, 30 minutes if the traffic's not bad. And then the fun starts because then you're in lines, you're a lot of lines. And the funny thing is about Manila Airport, you can get your electronic boarding pass, but they don't accept it normally. You still have to check in at the locations at the stands. So you still have to wait in line to check in, and then they print your boarding pass. So I think that's funny. I don't know if all airlines do that at Manila Airport, but all the ones I've traveled, you can't use your electronic. You can't have one on your phone and just have to scan it. You still have to check in and get your printed boarding pass. So I think it's kind of funny, kind of a waste of time. But anyway, let me see. So traveling out of the country, we'll talk about that a little bit more. I want to talk a little bit more about it. I got a comment on my last video. And the guy asked me, when was the last time I left BGC? So I call BGC a bubble. It is kind of a bubble, but you can actually get out of the bubble. You don't have to stay in the bubble the entire time. So, that makes it kind of nice. So my experience in the Philippines is since I've lived here, I've traveled to Dumaguete a few times. I've traveled to Siquijor. I've been to Iloilo City and took the ferry over to Guimaras Island. I've been down to Lipa City in Batangas. I've been to Leyte. Um, where else? I've been to Tagaytay. Let's see, where else have I been? No, I'm missing something. Um, but I've been to a lot of places. Oh, I've been to um, Bacolod, and then obviously in all the way through Negros, from Bacolod to Dumaguete, and my girlfriend's farm is kind of just 2 hours east of Bacolod. So I've been there in the mountains. That's right where Canleon volcano is, and so I've been there. I've seen the volcano. It's pretty cool, pretty impressive. Big old mountain. So I've been to a lot of places. So it's not like I haven't been out of BGC. Obviously, in Metro Manila, I've been to Manila. We've gone down to Chinatown. We've been to Divisoria, different areas down there. I've been to Quezon City, Eastwood. I've been to Makati many times, Mandaluyong many times, Pasig a few times. So I've been all over, and internationally, I've been to Thailand probably 5 or 6 times, Vietnam 2 or 3 times. I've been to Singapore. I've been to Japan, although I haven't been to Japan since I moved here, so it's been a while. But I've been there. Last time there was back in 2020, in March of 2020, right at the beginning of COVID. So that was interesting. And I got stuck there actually because my flight got canceled into China. And so I looked for another flight. They wanted to charge me 21,000 US dollars for a flight back to the US that day. So rather than coughing up that money, which I didn't have, obviously, I called my boss and said, "Hey, I'm not going to make it back to work right away." And basically, about 10 days later, I got a flight back from Tokyo to the US. I think I had like 3 or 4 stopovers. Flew out of Tokyo, had a 7 hour or 8 hour layover um, in where was it? In Japan. Oh, the name's escaping me right now. And then I left Japan, flew into Honolulu, had a 7 hour layover there. Honolulu to San Francisco, 11 hour layover, and then from San Francisco to Chicago. So it was interesting. took a long time. Oh, it was like 40 some hours, I think, total by the time I got home. But yeah, COVID was nuts, crazy. So um, anyway, um, some plans I have for the future. Obviously, we're going to Vietnam, my girlfriend and I, later this year. Like to get back to Thailand and try to take Jen with me for that. I want to get back to Japan, and I want to document all those trips on my YouTube channel. That's basically why I created this channel, just to share my experiences. So I've been in the Philippines just over 2 years. I'm full-time retired now, but this YouTube thing is kind of full-time now. But um, I just want to share my experiences, and I'm not the most experienced person here in the Philippines, obviously, because I've only been here just over 2 years. But I can share with you what I have experienced and the so-called trials and tribulations I've had, the things I messed up, and I can share with you. It's like, don't do this, don't do what I did. I can share with you the good and the bad and the ugly of living here in the Philippines. So, but I do love it here. I love my condo. I love where I'm at. I love BGC. It's so convenient, and I love the fact that I can get out of BGC anytime I want and just travel. And do it really cheaply. So that's what's nice. So anyway, um, We'll probably go till about 9:30, and then I'm going to get off unless we get a lot more people on. If anybody has any questions, we can make it an open forum, and you can ask any questions you want. I'll try to answer if I can. Um, One of the things, so when I go to Cebu at the end of this month or next month, the reason I'm going there is there's a company. I wanted to check in with them on it. There's a company that does background checks for expats in Filipina. So if you are in an LDR, a long distance relationship with a Filipina, this company will do a background check on her to find out if she's legit. Just find all the answers out for you. So you know, because I know it's hard sometimes to now into this world, you want to trust her about that. Maybe there's something going on with that. So before you make that big commitment, big jump to come here, or even that big jump to have a real deal or get engaged in doing this background check. So I'm going to check in with that company when I go to school and talk to you. And it works for Filipina too. If you're a Filipina, you're dating foreigner, you got to do a little background check on that guy to make sure he's on the internet, because not all us foreigners are telling the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So, so I will check this guy's company out when I go there to Cebu. It will probably be in July, probably mid-July when I go there. But I'll let you guys know how well it works out, and we'll see how it goes. So, no questions on the chat. So if you have a question on anything or comments, feel free to jump in. I appreciate that too. And we're getting close to 7,000 subscribers. That's amazing. Thank you all for that. So if you're watching this on the Arena, thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. That's been great. I think what I'll do with these live streams, probably go every other week from now on. So maybe the first and third Sunday night or Monday through the Philippines of the month, and I'll probably just do that for a while until they start picking up. Then the same things go on. But I want to thank everybody for coming in today and watching on the replay. And goodbye, and we'll talk to you soon.